Hi, I'm Banke The Author. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. My team is going to kill me for shooting this raw, but God is good. So we are booked and blessed. And if I'm going to answer the questions that you guys have been asking, I just gotta fit these recordings in when they get in. For those of you who do not know me, I am Banke Wupetu, also known as Banke the Author. I am a writer, author, poet, and stand-up comedian. I am uniquely qualified to answer questions from newbies and all those who wish to get on stage because I've been doing stand-up now for 4 years. So I'm still in the trenches in regards to developing my material and all that good stuff. And I remember very vividly how to start. So that's why you should listen to me. You don't want to start talking with people who've been doing it less than 2 years because they don't really have the experience like that. And then if you're talking to people who have been doing it more than 10 years, like that's for when you're at a more advanced level because they're not really, for the most part, it's not going to be fresh in their minds like those tips for the person who has never hit the stage but has been talking about it, thinking about it, and dreaming about it for a while, or the person who is, you know, maybe they've hit the stage less than 10 times. This video is for you. So let's get into your top questions. The first one being what makes something funny / how to write a joke. So if you are new, I would suggest that you don't get too in your head about it, okay? Our primary goal at this phase is to get on stage. It's to get on stage, it's to get on stage, it's to get on stage. You can start off with a 2-minute set. So you want to pull from personal experiences. This should not be some abstract, something you thought about, but you have no real connection, right? You can pull on personal observations, maybe the news, maybe celebrity gossip or whatever, but it has to be something that you have a connection with, not just something that, let's say you put in ChatGPT, like, oh, what should I write a joke about? Like, that's not going to really resonate because you don't have enough personal experience to be able to draw on and fill in those details, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is most open mics, the sets are going to be, for new people, are going to be between 3 and 5 minutes. You do not have to fill up that entire time. Look at me with only one eyeliner left. This is what happens when you work out at 3 in the morning and then decide to film content. Because if God has us awake, we're going to be productive. Yes. Anyway, you do not have to use up the entire time. So let's say you want to draw from personal experiences, right? Typically, it's going to be something that causes some kind of emotional reaction in you. Like, it pisses you off, it makes you laugh, it might make you sad. So when you're drawing from those personal experiences, again, it can be the news or it can be celebrity gossip, but it should be something that pisses you off, makes you sad, or you feel like you have a comedic twist, like people are not seeing the funny side of this topic. Okay, I'll give you the example of my very first set, which happened 4 years ago. I never planned to do stand-up comedy. It was during the pandemic. The poetry stages that I was used to performing on were closed, and I was like, fuck it, let's go be funny, because I missed the stage and I miss people. And I was living in Texas, so we had more wiggle room in regards to still being able to go out and congregate and things. Okay. So what was on my mind, what I found to be interesting, what I had an interesting tweak on is that I live in Houston, Texas, but I'm from Rochester, New York. And at that point, I was still kind of in my getting acclimated to the Texas Southern culture. So people down here love chopped and screwed music. It is a part of history, Houston history, cultural fiber, all of those things. You know, Houston has a very vibrant culture that is known worldwide. In regards to specifically hip hop, right? So you think about chopped and screwed music, you think about the candy painted cars, the cars with the spokes, with the shit sticks out. Like, this is quintessential Houston culture that people know the world over. And because I'm from New York, I'm cocky, and a part of me feels like New Yorkers are better than everybody. I mean, just gotta keep it a buck. So I had this joke. Again, you don't have to fill up the entire time. Now, mind you, I'm not a comedian at this point. I am just doing this for fun. I never in a million years think that this thing is going to grow the way that it has, right? So I'm like, chopped and screwed music sounds like cerebral palsy. That was my joke. It was something that I had a personal connection with. It was something that's like, you know, known within the audience because we're in Houston, and chopped and screwed sounding, you know, a slowed down, right? Saying it sounds like cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. Like, to me, that was the funny little tweak. And it's COVID. So, you know, death and dark humor is just, I mean, we didn't know what was going to happen. So my jokes are very dark / controversial at that time. They still kind of are, but not to that extent. So that was my joke. That was my set. Now, how long would that take? I figured I'll get on stage. People might boo. I could, you know, have whatever response with them. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing is the day that I decided to do stand-up, I reached out to somebody who I knew was doing it. She was a poet too, who had just started doing stand-up. I asked her, like, where do you go? And she sent me a whole bunch of flyers. Okay. That same day, I went and did it. I'm reiterating this because stand-up and public speaking is most people's biggest fear, right? People fear public speaking more than they do death. You, because you want to do stand-up, because you're gravitating to it, something about it excites you, right? But if you find yourself scared, it's completely natural. Like, that is an evolutionary response to way back in the caveman days when you had to live in a tribe in order to survive. Because y'all got to fight the saber-tooths or the lions, wherever the fuck. Y'all got to forage for the food. So all this, you know, YOLO shit was not a possibility back in those times, right? So we developed this dependency on the tribe. So you at no point wanted to get exiled, wanted to get kicked out, wanted to get banished, because nigga, you would die. So you are a yes man to a certain degree. So you just want to blend, you want to mix in with the tribe, right? So that is where that fear of public speaking comes from, because when you are on stage or talking in a group of people, all of that attention is on you, and your prehistoric brain feels like, oh shit, if this don't go right, these niggas might kick me out. Which is why bombing feels so bad. But that's a topic for another day. I don't want you to worry about that right now, because we just got to get you to the stage. So I say all that to say, the more you think about it, the more your logical brain, which tells you not to do the shit, because your brain loves you, right? It tells you not to do the shit, wants to protect you, kicks in, and or you keep studying, you keep writing, you get into this perfectionism, procrastination loop, and then you don't do any fucking thing. No, we want to hit the stage, hit the stage. You decided you wanted to go, let's go do it, all right? Now, you may be asking, how do I find the stage? I hope this is not gonna require a lot of editing. I'm about to just put this shit up raw. Like, it should have parts 1, 2, 3. It should have a thumbnail. It should blah. I might send it to my team and ask them to cut it up for me. But they're not gonna want to, because they're gonna be like, bitch, why you ain't put no lotion on your face? Why you ain't put no lip gloss on? Why you ain't put a filter on this hoe? Like, what are we doing? We're keeping it real, folks. We're keeping it real. Where was I? No, I wanted to focus on how to write a joke and the advice of starting. Just start and keep going. And there'll be more videos. Please, in the comments, any questions or anything you want me to flesh out more. Yeah, I love y'all. God bless.